Hello, everybody. This is Drew with StayAhead Fitness back with another workout for you. This is a 30-minute active mobility workout. This is going to help you to feel great. If your body's a little stiff or sore, you're going to love the way this workout makes you feel. We're going to start out slow down on the floor, then we're going to work ourselves up to standing. A yoga block might be useful to you, as you can see in the picture here, just to help with some of the exercises to make them a little more accessible to you. And so if you're ready, go ahead and grab your yoga block if you have it, and we will get started with this workout. By the way, thank you so much for liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel. It really does help me to bring you more free content just like this. All right, I hope you enjoy the workout.
Mention it also, but if you have your yoga block handy, that is going to be very useful for this workout. So grab it if you can, and then let's get started right away. We're going to be efficient, as always, with our 30-minute workouts. We're going to come down all the way onto the floor and onto your back. And you can straighten the legs or have the knees bent, whichever is most comfortable for you. The arms can be on the ground or on your belly. And we're going to take a long, deep breath. It feels so good just to take a moment to pause and get ourselves ready for our workout. Let's go ahead and begin. We're going to walk the knees, bend up the knees if you haven't already, and then wrap the hands around the knees and just give yourself a nice little squeeze in here, knees toward your belly. Now, one of the quick thing I'll mention about this class is that there are just a really nice handful of exercises that I always think, gosh, we ought to repeat those more often. And we're going to be doing those today in this class. Just very basic kinds of things. There's not necessarily going to be a whole lot new here, but just really basic functional movements to help increase agility, coordination, and mobility. All right, place the hands onto the knees and move the knees out and then around into big circles. So we start out slow here, finding this range of motion for the hip joints. Reverse the direction. And extend the feet up toward the ceiling with your legs together. Feel that nice little stretch on the backs of your legs. Move your ankles, feet, and toes. This is a great example of an exercise that we should do often. Getting the feet up above the heart and then moving the feet. Not only is it great for the ankles and the feet to move them when they're not weight bearing, but also to improve circulation. Feet moving up above the heart does stimulate the movement of blood throughout the body. All right, hold the feet still and lengthen your legs as best as you can. Open the legs into our straddle stretch. Draw the legs back together. And again, twice more, open out, straddle stretch. Bring the legs together. Last time, out into straddle stretch and back together. Bend the knees and land the feet onto the ground. Now, go ahead and reach the arms out away from the shoulders, and we're going to just kind of wiggle the shoulder blades into the ground a little bit. So I want you to feel like you're pushing the hands, arms, and shoulders down into the ground. Then walk the feet out to the edges of your mat and begin moving your knees from side to side. So we're going to do a series here of 2 exercises, this one and then the next one. This one is a mobilization for the hips and the low back. The next one will be a mobilization for the shoulders and upper back. So nice little combination here. If your knees don't come all the way to the ground, that's okay. The wider you have your feet apart, though, the easier it is to get your knees closer to the ground. Such a great little movement. All right, now we're going to immediately go into the upper back version of this. So for this one, the lower body stays stationary. So turn onto your side with your ankles, knees, and hips stacked. And then your arm can be underneath your head. And then the top arm reaches out and then reaches back behind. Now, you kind of have to find your way through this a little bit. and then bring it back to the start. Actually, probably better to bring both arms out directly away from the shoulders like this, now that I think about it. And then take your top arm, reach it up, and your gaze follows the hand. So reach it across and then back. You're just going to do this flowing movement just like you did for the lower back. This one is for the upper back. Now, in this one, the idea is to keep the lower body stationary, but I do feel like that my knees move a little bit away from the ground, and that's perfectly okay if that's happening. It's very hard to keep the knees completely still. Now, one thing you could do is to kind of straighten that top leg out a little bit, move it forward, and that will actually help you to keep your legs a little firmer to the ground. And when I do that, I feel a little deeper stretch in the upper back. A little easier to keep the legs from moving if you stretch that top one out. Oh, this is so good. Do a couple more. Remember, your gaze is following your hands, so your entire upper back, neck, and head are moving. All right, super. Switch over and get the other side. You can just flip over the other direction or swing your legs the other direction, whichever you like. Knees are bent. And stacking the ankles, knees, and hips. And whenever you're ready, start the movement. Again, that top leg can reach out in front if you like to help keep the lower body a little more stationary and thus isolating the movement to the upper back. One thing that's a little hard with this that you may be experiencing is it's hard to keep the head on the ground the whole time. So if you put a blanket underneath your head, that can be very helpful. A little too late for me to be mentioning it now. Sorry about that. But if you ever wanted to just do these two exercises on your own, what a great way to warm up the body. One for the lower back, one for the upper back. Let's get twice more. And release. Awesome. All right. Rock yourself up and work yourself up into tabletop position onto hands and knees. Now, I don't mean to rush you, but I'm wanting to be efficient here. So as soon as you're in your tabletop, start into your hip circles. Again, one of my favorite movements that we don't do enough, this could easily be something you do every day. And remember in this one, the challenge is that you're rounding and arcing the low back while you make the circles. It's not a simple circle. It's a dynamic, complex movement, meaning you're doing two moves at the same time. You're circling the hips and you're rounding and arcing the low back. So if this is a difficult thing for you to do, think about half of the circle is with a rounded back and half of the circle, the other half, is with an arched back. So round it halfway, arc it the other way. Reverse the direction of the circles, rounding and arcing. Good, and release. One more from down on the ground, then we're going to come up onto our feet. Come all the way down onto your belly. And one of the most beneficial exercises for the strength of the back is our cobras. So you put the hands by the mid ribs and then draw the shoulder blades down the back, contract the glute muscles, and push your chest up off the ground and then lower back down. Now, if you're not familiar with this exercise, take a look up here. Notice I'm not lifting up real high. And I am keeping the thighs on the ground. So this is an upper body lift, but the lower body is helping. So contract the glutes and see if you can push your feet into the ground. So your lower body is the anchor and your upper body is what's moving. So you're not lifting the thighs off the ground and you're not straightening the arms. The elbows stay bent at the top. And we'll get 3 more. Excellent. Now push up and back, widen the knees, and you can take child's pose, or if this bothers the knees, then just keep the hips up toward the ceiling like I've done here. Otherwise, if the knees are okay, just sit them all the way back toward your heels. Give it a deep breath. Let your hips sink back heavily onto the heels. And release and come on back up. Excellent work, everybody. Come on up to standing. One of the things I love about these 30-minute workouts is we are efficient. We keep things moving. Now, get the feet out to a straddle position. Take the right arm and reach it up and over. Look up to the hand and then switch sides. Reach, up and over. Now, each time you reach, think about spreading through the ribs, lengthening arms and legs, and take just a little bit more of a side bend as you warm up. So I'm leaning just a little bit more to the side each time without rounding the back. One more. To the right and to the left. Beautiful. Now we go down. Right hand goes to the right shin, ankle, or foot. Come up and go to the other side. Now let's take the arms out. So you're kind of doing a little windmill action here. So you come up and you reach across. Come up and reach across. So what I like about this is the mobility work for sure. You're trying to keep your legs relatively straight. Spine stays relatively straight. And arms stay relatively straight. But you're also working your core. Belly pulled in, nice and strong. And one more to each side. Fantastic. All the way up. Reach the arms up high. Look up. Reach up. Lower the hands down. Nice. Walk the feet in. And your feet are going to be slightly wider than hip width apart. Reach the arms up high. Now, we add a little back bend here. Contract the glutes. Look up, lean back. Reach down to the shins or the ankles or even the floor. Forward fold. Drop your head. Rise back up. Reach up. Now push the hips forward just a little more. Squeeze the glutes a little more. Lean back and reach down. Rise up. Reach up. And reach down. Now start to flow with this a little bit more. Reach up and reach back, lower down. Find your breathing. Feel the mobility in your spine. Couple more. Last one. And release. Roll the shoulders. Other direction. Fantastic. Now, grab your block. Have it close by. If you do not have your block, I'll give you a modification. Take the legs wide, straddle. Now, the right hand is going to reach down to the block or the floor if you could easily reach there, or if you don't have your block, you're just going to place your hand on your leg like this. Otherwise, hand is down on the block. The right hand is down. The left hand reaches up toward the ceiling. Now pull your belly in. Breathe. Look to the side wall or maybe up toward the ceiling. Then release. Switch hands. Left hand down. Right hand up. Oh, such an amazing rotation, a great twist. And then switch again. Reach up and switch. Reach. Now we're going to flow with this just a little bit more. I don't want you to go too fast on this one, but just keep going from side to side. You're moving into the stretch and then releasing and moving to the other side. And one more. and release all the way down. Come on up. Reach the hands up high. Look all the way up to the hands. Stretch it out. Reach the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. If this hurts the shoulders, place the hands on the hips instead. Otherwise, hands all the way behind. Pull the upper arm modes back. Grab the hands as tight as you can. Let the hands slide down your body as you look up toward the ceiling. Then lower down. Bring your crown of your head toward the floor. Your hand's going to come off of the tailbone if you like. And push back up. Rise up, look up, and lower down. Rise up, look up, lower down. Last one. And release and release the hands, raise them up high, and lower the arms down. Roll the shoulders. Good, everybody. Walk the feet in. And one more of this type of exercise, again, using the block if you have it. So grab your block and step toward the front of your mat. Bring your right foot back. So step your right foot back. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, and then bring the block to the ground, and then bring your back knee to the ground. So you're in a basic lunge. And then bring the block within about 6 inches of the front foot. And you might need to walk the back knee back a little further. Then from here, so your right leg is back, your left foot is forward. Now take your left arm and reach it up into a twist as you turn to the left. And then release the hand down and bring it back up. Now, if you want more challenge, lift the back knee off the ground. Then reach the hand up and lower the hand down. So your hand comes down close to the front foot and then reaches up and reach down. Reach up and reach down. Get it twice more. Last one. And release. Lower the knee and switch out your legs. Right foot in front, block within about 6 inches of the front foot. And again, if you need to, walk the back knee back just a little bit. If you have the back knee in too close, your body feels kind of jammed up. So scoot the back knee back a touch. If you want it harder, lift the back knee off the ground. Right arm reaches up into your twist. Lower the hand down to the front foot and reach up. So back knee to the ground would be the right thing for you if you feel like you struggle to hold the lunge position. If your balance is kind of all over the place, better to lower the knee to the ground and work on the rotation. Excellent. Twice more. Good. Release. And any way you can, go ahead and step forward and all the way up to standing. This is a great sequence of mobility exercises. These are so good for us. Okay, next thing we're going to do, clear that block out of the way. And again, another one that I would like for us to do more often is walking backwards. So useful for us. So at first, move to the front of your space, go slow, and get used to this. You'll turn once you come to the end of your space and go back. Goes without saying, make sure you're not going to trip on anything. At first, you're kind of just calibrating the amount of space you have. And then, once you're ready, start to pick your feet up. So your high knee, it's a high knee move going backwards. And then after you've done that a couple of times, we'll keep with the high knee, but the arms are going to go up toward the ceiling. So why on earth would we do something this crazy, this odd? Well, walking backwards is teaching the brain a different pattern. You're using your muscles in a slightly different way. This is really good for the knees. It's not a terrifically difficult core exercise, But with the arms overhead, you are using a little more of your belly. You probably can feel that. And there's a little coordination here. All right, everybody, fantastic. Back to center, facing forward into the middle of your mat. You're going to cross your feet. So any way you can, walking and crossing your feet. They don't cross very much necessarily. One kind of comes more in front of the other. Maybe they cross a little bit. But as you can tell, this is all about footwork, all about creating dexterity and coordination in the feet. Try to have your feet be lively, moving quickly. Of course, you're picking your feet up rather than sliding them across the floor. Excellent. Back to the center of your space. Walk forward, walk back. Now let's take the arms up and we'll make circles with the elbows bent. So feel your arms staying connected into the shoulders. You should feel your shoulder blades moving, your entire upper back, your shoulder girdles, right and left, are moving. And we're crisp with our steps. Reverse the direction of your arm circles. Excellent, everyone. All right. Simple enough, but so good for our overall coordination and agility. Now we will come to either wall space, or you can hold on to a chair or a couch, whatever you need. We're going to lean forward. So if I turn just a little, you can see I'm leaning forward about this much. And then knees stay together, right foot lifts, kick the heel to the bottom. So we're entering into the last few minutes here already. It goes fast. Again, exercises that I would recommend you do frequently. Now, this is an exercise, all these next ones, we can do with ankle weights. But without the ankle weights, I want you to find the full range of motion, heel as close to the bottom as you can, and a fairly decent pace here. Now, the hamstrings are notoriously weak. So this is a great one to do. This is the most important one of the sequence. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Now, I don't know about you, but what I notice is that after I get to a certain number, the muscles start to fatigue and the movement gets a little harder. It gets a little more awkward. The movement isn't quite as smooth. That just indicates the muscles have gotten a little fatigued. And ideally, that's what we would like to get to. It tells us that we are strengthening those muscles. And again, because we're not using any resistance, then we can do more volume. And right about here, I'm starting to feel that muscle get tired. I am still going fairly quick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Definitely can feel that in the hamstrings. Feet close together, high knee. Now we're going to keep from touching the foot on the ground here. Ideally, these are very efficient movements. Notice how my foot is staying right in a line. I'm not doing some kind of weird sort of movement like this. I'm sure you're not doing it like this either. I'm just saying, try to feel like it's really slotted in. Very simple, very straight, up and down. You're going to feel the fatigue right here in the hip flexor on this one. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right to the other leg. I didn't mention it, but I'm sure you can tell. This one is completely vertical. We're not leaned over on this one. Belly is active. Focus is on that hip flexor right here. Same thing as the hamstring curl. We want to go until we feel some fatigue here. Trying to get a full range of motion, knee as high as you can. Moderate pace. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I was definitely ready to be done with that one. Muscles got that place of fatigue right where we want to be. Now, that last one was focused on the hip flexors right here, the top of the front of the leg. This next one focuses more down into the quads. So foot is straight out in front. It's a kicking action. Here, notice the knee stays in place. Don't move the knee forward and back. And there is a kicking action, a thrusting action as you come forward. Same exact thing. Full range of motion, moderate pace. We go until the muscles fatigue. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. Legs straight and kick. Knees stay stationary. You get to a point where you feel it, right? Everyone's going to be a little bit different. Keep that full range of motion. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. Now walk it off. And if the walking feels just slightly wobbly, not a lot, but it's going to feel a little different, then you know that you've worked out those muscles. You've created some strength. To the middle of your mat, reach the arms up high, lower the hands down to the ankles, forward fold, rise back up, lower the arms halfway down, rotate to the right, rotate to the left, back to center, raise the arms up, side bend right, side bend left, back to center, reach up, contract the glutes, arc the spine, lean back. Reach the hands down to the ankles, forward fold. Rise up, arms up halfway. Rotate right. Rotate left. Back to center. Side bend right. Side bend left. And back to center. Roll the shoulders. Other direction. And we are all done. I hope you feel great. I hope you feel ready for more active movement for the rest of your day. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. It's really nice to do these live classes with you, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Have a great rest of your day.